Vaccination takes off in Accra, Tema, and Kumasi, and Gasal, Pong, Katamanso, Tema, Adenta, Okaikwe North, and Ablekuma Central are the places where you go and get your vaccine. It's a one shot and it's for all persons, so that you're more than 18 years, you can go in there. The Ghanaian Times, Upper West Regional floods. Distraction is national disaster. Roads Minister declares a promise to fix damaged roads. He says it will be priority. Education Minister Santehene, 18 others honored at Tepa. Ghana Exim Bank finances 122 industrial projects with 2.1 billion Ghana cedis in 4 years. Also, the banner headline, Mad Rush for COVID-19 jabs as vaccination takes off in 11 hotspot districts. And the turnout was very good, according to the health officials. Daily Guide, we killed pregnant woman. Kasua teens shock court yesterday. And there were tears in court when they said that they had previously killed a pregnant woman before the little boy. Spanish burger in murder-suicide. Also, Ghana positions to become better. And 12 telcos owe government 213.7 million Ghana cedis. The BNFT, the true facts about GNPC's increased stake in Ake blocks misrepresented by CSO, said Professor Hinson has been on a collision course with Bryce Simons of Imani. Cycle to collapse pelagic fisheries industry in 3 years. While we're sitting and watching, we have a whole ministry for fisheries and aquaculture. PNFJ successes nullified by post-harvest losses, according to Isoko. And IAPA, amidst the African Continental Free Trade Area, will offer economic competitive advantage. Horticultural scientist has also won the 2020 Civil Service Awards. What's on the Economic Times front page? It says Ghana awaits $1 billion in SDRs from IMF. Also, digitization agenda. NCA warns telcos on sending unwanted text calls to subscribers. Bank of Ghana's cybersecurity systems hailed ahead of digital currency launch. What's the ABC newspaper saying? It says Akufo-Addo breaks ground today for Agenda 111. Ghanaians are upbeat and government should not take blame while corporates are shielded. Dan Botwe, fixing the country movement to propagate good works of Akufo-Addo nationwide. Okay, so that's the new information ministry, right? The Real Estate Times in Africa says operationalizing real estate agency act will improve market transparency performance, according to a researcher. The Finder newspaper is a final one. It says students back lecturer strike action. And UTAG is on strike as we speak. The NLC had taken them to court, won some 3,000. But they still are adamant. They say they will be on strike until what they're asking for is granted them. We have petitioned the Auditor General of a misleading report, Zoom Lion, over claims that the private entity was giving some state funding that they did not deserve. Roads Ministry outlines scope of work for $570 million Tema motorway extension projects. We were told sometime last week that there was no project at all. There was no contract at all. But here we go. Hinson Simons in brutal face-off over ongoing debate on GMPC Arcade deal, and 446,321 candidates begin 2021 WASI. Court awards costs against UTAG for non-compliance with the court rules. Adam Agbana is the Deputy National Youth Organizer of the NDC. He joins me here on this party's ticket. And also, George AEC is the National Communications Director of the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO. George, welcome. How are you doing?
Yeah, thank you. I'm doing good.
Did you come in an official car today?
The good news is that effective this week or early next week, a team is going to go around from headquarters to the Greater Accra through all the regions for the ID card.
Finally. They're going to do ID cards for you.
My Director General is taking that
I spoke about the ID cards. I found it unacceptable that a body like NADMO, managing disaster, had a disaster of not having ID cards for his staff because you're putting them in danger. So it's good news. But
so all staff should be on standby. Okay, the dates are going to be released.
They'll be on standby. Yeah. But you didn't come in an official vehicle. Why does the National Communications Director of NADMO not have an official vehicle to do God's work?
Yeah. you are trespassing. How did they say it?
Edem, how are you doing? The man
has a good term.
The man has not answered my question. How are you doing?
Oh no, we you know, we've been given some official vehicles and so yes.
So yes, there's one for you.
Yeah, that's
I'll be monitoring.
Yes.
Sure.
I'll be monitoring.
Are you sure?
I'll be monitoring because I find it unacceptable that he, as National Communications Director, and I'm not speaking because he's my friend. I'm saying that it is an official position that must have an official vehicle and all the perks that come with it. It's unacceptable because you cannot be looking like a disaster when you're fighting disaster. That is unacceptable. Yes. Then how are you doing?
Johnny, I'm great. And good morning to you and to all our cherished viewers across the country. This morning, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama will begin a thank you tour in the northern regions. He's actually starting with the Upper East region. So wish him and all the team that are with him the very best throughout this tour. We are thanking the people of Ghana for the massive show of love and support in the last elections.
Okay. Yes.
It's good they finally accepted their fate. I would urge His Excellency. I would urge His Excellency the President, former President, to officially call His Excellency the President and congratulate him.
When President
I hear you. We are not campaigning now. Thank
President Akufo-Addo refused to even attend the inauguration of President Mahama.
Yes, because
he went around thanking people. So thanking people is not an acceptance.
So right after court, he called him the same day, within 2 minutes.
There's no acceptance of defeat.
So we showed a video, and there's a statement that I've seen purported to be coming from some concerned students of the St. Monica College of Education, and that's where the Reverend Father you saw in his full regalia, the chasuble and everything else, was kissing the girl. Somebody says it's now Father Christmas. And they are writing to bloggers. They say, dear bloggers, we humbly write to you on the stance of your recent postings this few days concerning an honorable man of God, that's Father Labi, that's his name. We stand to fight for justice and what is duly right. On the morning of our Sunday service, that's the 15th of August 2021, our school chaplain honored deserving students with certificate, sums of money, and offered the kisses too. So they don't deny that he offered kisses. How many people got the kisses, I don't know. Unfortunately, some people perceived to be students took videos and jokingly posted them on their status for fun with funny captions. Some supposed bloggers, without any inquiries into the situation, posted on social media with untrue captions like what? We personally want to officially ask the management of Isoman GHTV, who published on the 16th of August, horrible as Anglican father kisses a student deep during service, and also teachers of Ghana, a whole reverend father, next time it wouldn't be a kiss, and many others to remain silent and make proper inquiries and write the right captions for the post. Hashtag we stand with father. Hashtag we are against false post. Hashtag justice must be served. Yeah. So George, this is what the students we are speaking for in the COVID era are the ones telling us to shut up.
Yeah, Johnny, good morning to you. Good morning to your production crew. And good morning to our viewers. In fact, there's a chapter in the Bible which says, touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm, right? And some of us agree in absolute terms with, protecting and supporting men of God to propagate the gospel, okay? But sometimes, forgive my choice of words, sometimes some of these men of God misbehave in the name of the Holy Spirit. I'm sorry. They misbehave in the name of the Holy Spirit. You've seen some of these churches, a prophet will just be lying on a pregnant woman in the name of exorcising some demons from hell.
Right.
A pregnant woman, okay? Some stamping in the abdomen of women and all that. That's what I meant by misbehaving in the name of the Holy Spirit, okay? To the point that his father, when I couldn't finish watching the video. I said, what? What is this?
What's going on?
Holy kiss? Father Christmas? Oh, come on. You see, and the students, is unfortunate. Yet, yes, it's not official that they took the video and posted, but what was happening? Somebody saw a misnomer.
Right.
Something wasn't right,
Right.
and decided to put it in the public domain
Right.
for public opinion.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
look, this is a college of education. This is a father who had sworn the oath of celibacy. No, Anglican,
Anglicans
they
don't do
marry. Yes,
celibacy.
and it's a married father.
Or maybe not.
Maybe not. And you decide to be doing this in the open for students. To be honest with you, I don't know what the Holy Spirit direction was as of the time, but it's unacceptable.
Okay.
Especially in the student enclave. It's unacceptable. And I think the Anglican bishop for Ghana and West Africa, you know, I think it comes
So
from
there's the internal province of Ghana now.
Yes, with international repute. They should call the man to order, and some sanctions should be meted out to. And what the students are saying, I disagree with them. I disagree. There's nothing misreported there because there's a video. Unless, of course, they are saying there was no kiss. And
No, they acknowledge that there were
yeah, so we find that
certificates, money and kiss.
the case is not in the right case.
Okay.
And we disagree with the father.
Adam,
Johnny,
these
I
are
think-
young
yes,
people who are also defending their chaplain.
Johnny, I watched the video. Very, very despicable video. And I am shocked that the statement you read is coming from students of the institution. I want to believe that it is fake news. I want to believe because this statement clearly cannot be coming from students who should be crying about abuse, but they are rather trying to protect the abuser. But I think that this should open a broader conversation on how religious leaders are taking advantage of the vulnerable. Indeed, they say religion is the opium of the masses.
That's right.
But Johnny, I have watched videos, I have heard accounts, very, very chilling accounts of how some men of God or supposed men of God take advantage of their congregants. Where we've seen videos where even women's private parts are fondled by these same pastors in the name of in the name of whatever deliverance. We have seen videos of pastors actually forcing church members, women, to undress. There was a particular video where the pastor claimed that he needed to anoint the private parts of the women so that they could conceive and all that. I mean, these are things
Ridiculous stuff.
very ridiculous stuff that happens in the country. But people always will cover it under the pretense of religion. I think it's important for us to begin taking some action on this. These students do not deserve this. If you watch the video carefully, for the last girl in the video that kissed this father, you realize the resistance. She wasn't happy doing it, but
That's right.
he virtually forced her into doing it, and these things cannot be allowed to continue.
Was a deep kiss.
I mean, all of them. All of them. Even the last one.
First one
Yes,
was
even
a
the
kiss
last one
proper.
appeared like, look, you can watch it. See, very, very despicable thing. We expect our gender rights advocates and child rights advocates to come and speak against some of these things. And the man must be punished, irrespective.
But before that, Johnny, you
whatever
said
he's
something
wearing.
which was very interesting.
Right.
In this COVID time,
Yes, in this
I mean,
COVID
yes.
time.
This
And he had his mask hanging around and kissing people.
What is all this? That's what people.
Well, I know for a fact that
Father
my father would not do that. The Venerable Major E.N.A. Lai retired. He would not do that. And there are a few of my fathers who I know and I can vouch for who would not do that. So I celebrate them. And for all men of God who are true men of God, who will not be carried away for whatever reason, who would stay true to the principles and the oath that they take, may God continue to favor you some more. And we'd like to say a quick happy birthday to two young men, and then we'll get into the issues this morning. Happy birthday to Festus Yerdong and Ferdinand Yerdong of Evergreen International School. You are in grade 8. That's from your mom, assistant headmistress of the SDA school in Wale Wale, and from all of the friends, the branch manager at ADB in Wale Wale as well. Happy birthday to you. If it's your birthday as well, happy birthday to you. The government is set to begin the Agenda 111, as it's called. And today the president would officially sought to kick off government's agenda, which is aimed at building 101 district hospitals across the country. The government has secured $100 million startup fund from the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, GIF, to power the project. And this will be the most audacious agenda by any government in Africa, if not the world, to improve the health infrastructure. So I commend the government and pray that the project doesn't hit a snag. That's what Stella Riafi is, a health practitioner, I told the ABC News yesterday in Accra. George, let me begin this one with you. So better late than never, somebody would say. What scope is this going to take?
Yeah, thank you. The government, His Excellency the President, in his eighth address to the state on COVID matters, put it in the public domain that we have identified some 88 districts, as of the that address, that do not have district hospitals. Yeah. And then 6 regions, the new regions, do not have regional hospitals. And then Western region is going to have 1 more hospital. And then another thing that later was identified was that in the middle belt and the northern belt, we don't have psychiatric hospitals there. Okay, and then there's another one. I always forget the term, the one that COVID falls under.
What you call it? Infectious disease centers.
Yeah, infectious disease centers and co. And so in all these things, you know, but as of the beginning, His Excellency said 88 and has said we're going to use 12 months to build them. But thereafter, you know, we had to do feasibility studies, acquire the land, and all the other things that come with it. And so it had to delay a little. But I agree with you, as you said, better late than never. It's about the commitment of the government to the implementation of this project. It's audacious, as you said, and it's never happened in the annals of the history of this country. And that will be a very good program if we see its conclusion. And that is what excites me. 111, Agenda 111, 101 hospital infrastructure across, and not just the buildings and co. It's going to be equipped, okay, to the standard, you know, some 100-bed hospital, 60-bed hospital and all that. And some are, you know, bigger than that. And so, yes, today the president is going to Achima Kwanwoma district, especially Trede. That's where the commencement is going to be, ceremony. It's a commencement ceremony. And so, yes, it's a good thing. We of the MPP are very excited that we are putting this. If you live in a district, you know, growing up in Jessica, in the OT region today, you know, most of us, if there's any serious medical issue, you have to be taken to Rara. Okay. You get it. The next, you know, that's where we have a big government hospital there, and good treatment will be given to you. Okay, but now there's a hospital in Jessica. But before that, and the road wasn't good. Okay, if you don't take time before you get to Rara, if you don't take time, you know. And so it's good for every district to have a district hospital. I remember when I was working in a Akontombra village, the Sefiyoso district. I was sick, you know. I went to the local drug chemical seller, and he, you know, assumed I was a dadabi, and so the water I was drinking was the problem. Okay. And he was giving me some medications that were not knowing I was having malaria. Oh. I nearly died. So I had to move from my village to Akontombra, wait till the next dawn. When the car moves, you wait till the next. Right. So to Sefiyoso Government Hospital. Okay. Before I was diagnosed and they realized it was malaria, and I was treated. You get it? So there's a district hospital. If there's a district hospital, it helps. So it's a good thing. Ghanaians should support it. I have heard some people, especially my brother Phyllis Kwachio Fusu, having some disbelief and casting doubts.
We're raising questions about funding, for example, for the project.
Yes,
there's a seed capital of $100 million.
Yes.
But if you're saying that one will cost $17 million.
$17 million.
Okay, yes. And we're also looking at the changes in the currency and all of that, city depreciation and all of that, you would need some more. Do we have dedicated funding for this project?
No, what it is that we're committing 3 budget cycles to support these costs. You know, when the budget review was done, the finance minister announced to Parliament, the people of Ghana, that we are committing some ABF this thing to support this one. And so that is the 100 million commitment. As we go, we'll be raising money and committing it to this project. You know, just like we yes, Free SHS may have some funding co-dedicated, but this one, as and when we move, we'll be raising funds to support it. But the commitment is that once you begin, let's take for instance the Trader one, commencement is today. So in the next 12 calendar months, they should complete the project. A 15-acre land space and the pharmacy, whatever, theater, everything that is expected to be in a district hospital must be there. You get it. And so that's the commitment we have made. We'll be raising the funds and supporting it. Yes, some have said EPC, this thing, but the plus F is not there. So government itself is going to be committing funds as and when we go in the budget side.
Adam, so this is government's ambition to get this done. I mean, it was announced at the height of the COVID pandemic last year by the president, and he said we're going to get it done in a year. And then by the close of that deadline, we also told that, well, that was phase 1, because it was becoming difficult to acquire lands and do consultations and look at the plan and the designs, because some of the lands were just impossible to build, you know, spatial like that. So you had to build upwards and all of that. So modifications have been done, consultations have been done. Today, we are going to cut salt for 111. What do you say?
Johnny, all of us, as a people of Ghana, will be very happy to have some massive, significant improvement in our health infrastructure. We in the NDC believe that we need to do a lot more, invest a lot more in healthcare. The point must be made that nobody in the NDC is against the construction of district hospitals, because we have always had the vision of expanding healthcare infrastructure. That is why in the last NDC administration, headed by President John Dramani Mahama, we built 14 district hospitals, 22 polyclinics, and thousands of cheap compounds. So we believe that there must be some massive improvement in healthcare infrastructure. So we are not against the idea. However, there are some key questions that we ought to ask, and these are the questions that I will be asking on your show this morning.
For example, what?
For example, Johnny, the person making the promise, the person going to cut the sword, with all the fanfare and pomp and pageantry, President Akufo-Addo does not have the credibility to earn our applause on this project.
Why do you say that?
On the 9th of September 2020, President Akufo-Addo cut sword for the construction of the Shama Hospital. Till today, not even a single block. I'm not even talking about foundation, not a single block. Same can be said of the Eastern Regional Hospital that President Akufo-Addo cut sword for. Till today, not a single brick. And some others. There are many others that I can mention. So when it comes to cutting sword, when it comes to having logos and proposing ideas and celebrating, inviting the media and making all sorts of noise about it, President Akufo-Addo is very good at it. But when it comes to the implementation, he has proven time without number that he cannot be trusted. This particular Agenda 111 that we are talking about, do you remember? He made a promise in April 2020. Then it was 88 hospitals,
88 government
hospitals that they proposed. Over a year. And in fact, when he made that promise in his presidential address, he said the construction was to begin the following day. Till today, not a single site we can point to and say construction has begun.
But that's what he explained.
And it's been over a year explained.
He suggests that, well,
see,
designs and consultations and
the
Minister for
the
Health,
point is that
explained that it was becoming difficult to get land and all
there are two questions. At the time the president made a promise and said construction is about to begin immediately, didn't he know that they needed to complete consultations and get land and all of that? You see, President Akufo-Addo has reduced the presidency to, I mean, he has become a president that we can't even trust his words. The last time, just last night, a friend was telling me that President Akufo-Addo behaves like, I mean, without any disrespect, behaves like a man who, when he's horny, makes all sorts of promises on the boat. I mean, that's
far-reaching. You have to withdraw that.
I withdraw that. But the point I'm trying to make is that President Akufo-Addo has proven that he is not a man whose words we should take serious.
He doesn't work alone.
The National Cathedral, no. Team, so if you are the president, you see, the office of the presidency is not a small, it's not a joke. So when you are coming to speak as president of the land, you are the first gentleman. It means that you have your fact, you've done your background check, and you are aware that indeed the construction was to begin immediately. What happened to the National Cathedral? You remember all the pomp and pageantry that escorted the sword cutting and all of that. Today, they are begging the ordinary Ghanaian, you and I, to contribute 100 cedis for them to complete the National Cathedral. This is a man who cannot even fulfill his promise to God. And you think that this Agenda 111 can be realized? Secondly,
will you support the government to achieve Agenda 111? Since
we are not against it.
Since you say that you acknowledge the fact that
I'm saying that we need it. We will support, but we don't trust the person leading it. He cannot be trusted. President Akufo-Addo cannot be trusted when it comes to executing this agenda. Secondly, Johnny, another issue that is key is that you have Ministry of Health, you have Ministry of Works and Housing, all the ministries. Since time immemorial, we have been building hospitals. Do you have to set up a new secretariat, new bureaucracy, have a logo design, people working in Agenda 111 office, paying people? Do you have to set up a bureaucracy to begin the construction of hospitals? Imagine President Mahama decided that between 2013 and 2017 to set up new bureaucracies, new offices for all the projects that he was embarking on. How many offices would have created? So you have a situation where even the beginning of the project, he's getting it wrong because the health ministry and the other ministries, cabinet could not just lead the construction of the hospital. You needed to set up a new bureaucracy, Agenda 111. They've created logos. I'm sure they will have ambassadors like they did for free SHS and all of that. So even how they are starting tells you that they have no vision for it. They are not able to complete it. Third, issue about funding.
Okay.
The 100 million seed capital we must acknowledge that it is from the Ghana
GIF,
the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. And this is also a legacy of President Mahama, and he must be commended. This is the same gift that MPP opposed. But now let's talk about the 100 million. You want to build 111 district hospitals, and you tell us that the cost is about 17 million US dollars, and you have only 100 million
to start with.
And there is no clear path for raising the rest of the funds.
Who told you that?
Though there is no clear path, and what he has explained about there will be 3 budget cycles and all of that and all for it, they don't have it. It is 100 million. That is the state capital.
But allocation will be made for
the 100 million is what they are getting from John Mahamad's legacy to start with. Now about the cost. In 2016, President then candidates Bawumia told us that it was too expensive to construct a hospital for $25 million. Even when we explained that when you look at the kind of hospitals that John Mahama and the NDC was constructing, beyond just having the beautiful edifice, the kind of infrastructure, the kind of equipment that we had in those, they criticized, and he told us that Aliko Dangote in Nigeria built a 1,000-bed hospital for 12 million US dollars. And he actually said the $25 million could construct 5 hospitals, but we're using 1.
Okay.
Now, if you have 17 for 1, what happened to the $5 million that President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia at the time in opposition said it's all you needed to construct a district hospital? So when you look at all that they are doing, it is just one of those give me. So the system has been against them for a while. People are agitating. Let's say something to excite them. They come up with beautiful slogans, sloganeering, beautiful logos, and yet no real implementation of this project. Well, I believe that President Akufo-Addo, as he even goes to cut the sword today, he himself knows that.
Would you rather not wait for the president to cut the sword so that in his speech he would explain and answer some of the questions?
I am telling you that I have heard President Akufo-Addo speak from 2017 till today, and he's the man who does not act on his words. He acts contrary to his words. I don't believe anything that President Akufo-Addo says.
Thank you. George, I'll come to you. But Honorable Kwame Agboja is the Member of Parliament for the Adaklu constituency. And yesterday he spoke about Agenda 111. He made an allegation, and he says that he's saying that on authority, that the Agenda 111 project is being handled from the presidency. It's the president that's giving the contracts, not the health minister, Kweku Agyeman-Menu, who is on leave, or from the Ministry of Works and Housing. Take a listen to this carefully, and then we'll come and ask George whether there's some truism to it or not.
We have Ministry of Health with technical staff to initiate, supervise, and commission district hospitals or hospitals in this country. Isn't it curious that it is the chief of staff which is signing letters for awarding contract to contractors and consultants to build district hospital?
What are you saying?
I'm telling you that the Ministry of Health is not the one in charge of this, the construction of Agenda 111. They went and recruited an estate developer whose estates are along, what do you call it, Junction Mall, and set up Agenda 111 Secretariat with all V8 and other things, and pushing that they are going to modify a polyclinic design and call it a district hospital. That is what they are about to do. But I'm a member of Parliament. How do I demand accountability for what is going on from the Chief of Staff? If it were to be at the ministry, because Chief of Staff doesn't necessarily have audience in Parliament, it's the minister. So you go and put it there before the president. So the president and the vice president are now awarding projects on the construction of hospital. Do they have the consultants there to do the work?
And you have this on authority?
Of course. Of course. The Minister of Health is not the one awarding project for any Agenda 111. It's not. Why is the President Akufo-Addo interested in being the one awarding hospital project? Is it because there's something in it? And where was the competitive bidding for these things?
Okay, so that's Kwame Agboja, MP for Adaklu. George, number one, is it true that Agenda 111 is been awarded from the presidency? Do you know?
Yeah, I know for a fact the Chief of Staff is the head of a committee that is executing this project.
Why is that so? What happened to the health minister?
The health minister is part. You've heard, you yourself at the beginning of this conversation said the health minister had put some issues out before. So the health minister is in the know. Okay? And chief, who is the Chief of Staff? Who is the Chief of Staff? Okay? So every minister go report to the Chief of Staff.
But the Chief of Staff doesn't have audience in Parliament.
So
if you want to summon somebody for accountability purposes, you can't bring the Chief of Staff to Parliament, can you?
You can bring the health minister who will take whatever information from the Chief of Staff and go and answer.
What has been the practice? What has been the practice in the past?
Every minister in this government, per our constitution, works at the behest of the president.
Yes.
True or false?
Yes.
You were put there by the president in his interest. He cannot be everywhere at the same time. That's why he's asked you, John Hughes, go and represent me there. Okay? And so, yes, there's a technical committee. And look, this is a special project. Okay? Which special project needs special attention. And so the president thinks there should be a special committee to execute this project. Okay? And so the processes of acquiring land and everything has been gone through. I know there's been tender processes. Okay? That people have bidded for the projects and some have won. They've had, there's a certain document. It's not a complete award letter. Okay? So that was given initially, and then they were going to do further investigation, then they will authenticate it and give you the commercial agreement.
I see.
So that you go and begin the execution. So it's true that there's a special technical committee, and I don't see my brother, the Honorable Agboja's worry.
So his point is that in terms of accountability,
yes,
there will be a problem.
There will not be a problem. No, that's the Chief of Staff. And so if you need any answer, that's not the presidency. If you need any answer, definitely the health minister will be in whatever committee as far as this implementation is concerned. And so if you need any answer at it, the health minister who is supposed to be in parliament to answer, he will take the right answers and go and answer.
With the benefit, benefit of the hindsight, you come to your point. I see you noting. With the benefit of hindsight, you remember that when the Frontiers deal for COVID testing happened at the airport, it was also done from the top.
Yes.
It was not done from the health ministry.
Yes.
The health minister, Kwajima Menu, had come to parliament to say that at his vetting table, that he didn't know anything about the contract.
Okay.
The Attorney General, Godfrey Dami, also said he knew nothing about the contract. Minister for Foreign Affairs also said he knew nothing about the contract. Yet these were the sector ministers who were supposed to have known about the thing. They said they don't know. Don't you envisage that in future, if you call Mr. Kwajima Menu to come and answer for Agenda 111, whether it's how the money was spent or who got what contract, he could then say he doesn't know?
No. Do you know why?
Tell me.
He was at a vetting. Maybe so. If he's not aware, he's put it there. Now, if you call the minister, question time by a member of parliament to know the details of whatever, then the sector minister will get the proper information and then appear before parliament to answer same. Okay? And so if he's not prepared and you ask him, he will tell, if I don't know, I don't know. Okay? But the truth is that the presidency is aware. And we have executive precedence. Okay? So whatever information you want, it can be relayed to you to parliament.
Why must
we have the leader of government. We have the leader of government.
Why must he take the president?
And the minister for parliamentary affairs.
Why must he take the president to construct hospitals? I mean, the president could construct hospitals. Why then did he appoint the health minister and the minister for works and housing?
Oh no, definitely. This is a special project. But we have minister for education. But there's a free SHS committee that is working in tandem with the Minister of Education from day one because of how special it is. Okay, so the president, unless you quote any chapter in this constitution that says it is an abhorrence for the president to do that. And I've told you, executive presidency, every minister works at the behest of the president. Okay? And so if he thinks this is a special project, let's have a technical committee headed by the chief of staff to execute the project. I don't see anything
Kwame raises questions about the fact that there was no open tendering. I'll come to that. I just cited a letter dated the 2nd of December 2020 from the Office of the President. That's titled Agenda 111/OOP/HIG/2020/8. It says Construction of Government Priority Health Infrastructure Projects Agenda 111. And I won't tell you who the letter was written to or what where the person works. But it says that we are pleased to inform you that the approval has been granted for your company limited to be awarded a contract for the construction of various hospital programs under the Government Priority Health Infrastructure Agenda. Zone, they have 8. Region, Ashanti. District name, Asokwa Municipal. Capital is Asokwa. Hospital type is a district hospital. Facilities or the scope is attached. Now, the contract sum shall not exceed 1,930,639.96. That's $1,930,639, inclusive of local and indirect taxes. Payment will be based on the Ghana cedi equivalent of the dollars. The assignment shall be completed within 12 calendar months, beginning from the commencement of the contract construction date. You are to contact the project coordinator consultant, Government Priority Health Infrastructure Projects Agenda 111, email at info@HIG Group GH. So that's the company that's handling it. That's what Kwame Akpoja mentioned. Info as HIGroupgh.com immediately for further instructions. George, I find this quite strange because our government is still quoting in dollars when they've told us to deal in cedis. That's a question for another day.
That's for that one.
But the government must lead by example. When they tell the people to deal in cedis, they must deal in cedis and not in dollars.
If we have a case on the table, you tag case, you know that?
So yes.
$2,000 now, $900.
So now we have read this. We have read this. Added to what Kwame says that there is some percentage or a kickback in it which the president may be getting. That is why he and the vice president and chief of staff are interested in giving this contract as opposed to allowing the health minister to do his job.
there's a technical committee headed by the chief of staff. Unless you say the chief of staff is not going to do a good job. And two, Kwame is not giving me any reason to say that there was no tendering for this company to have won that
open tendering?
Yeah. I've seen a lot, people, advertise that people have gone in, won these contracts. I've read a lot of
you advertise where?
Yeah, I know, so you get it.
You advertise
People
where?
went in to bid. So as to how it was done, you can check on that. And Kwame hasn't given me any reason.
I want you to support the program.
Read what you read. You said the company had won.
I want you to.
So if you've won, if you don't bid, how do you win?
I want you to support the program.
Yes.
Now, Kwame says that nothing of that nature happened.
And I disagree because he hasn't given me any reason. Okay. Because what you just read said that company had won.
How many?
So how do you win a bid if you win something if you not put in a bid?
Let's narrow it down. For Ashanti, for example,
yes.
How many contractors bid for the contract so that this company won in Ashanti?
I don't have that information. Okay. But once there's a winning process, and I told you they were giving temporary this thing before it's going to be confirmed. So that is that bid. Okay. Unless Kwame is able to tell me that there was nothing, because he's an MP, he's privy to certain
the member of the highway committee.
Yes. So I would give him that benefit of the doubt. Okay, but once there's a winning in there, it means there was a process. It could be sole source, it could be a competitive bidding, whatever.
Okay.
But there's a winning. Okay, that is one. And two, let's come to Ghanaians. This government.
Wrap up on that,
yes,
and then let Cookie read some.
Yes, I'm wrapping. This Eurogate project that the NDC inherited from President Kufuor. How many were they able to complete? The Eurogate projects. Okay. No, I'm saying this because he said we cut a sword and the same government is in place and we've done nothing. What are you talking about? Huh? Look, Ghanaians should trust this government because when we said we were going to do national health insurance scheme, Professor Mills in Bolgatanga said it's a lie. We're deceiving the Ghanaian, and he was an honest man and wouldn't throw dust in the people's eye. Do we have health insurance? When we said we had discovered crude oil, the NDC said RRS and Amponsa in 1971 came to Parliament with a similar something and lied to the Ghanaian. But that wasn't a lie because the soft palm oil field is still there up to today. We have commercial oil, and fortunately, God being so good, it was this Professor Mills, an NDC president, who, pumped the first.
The people in La, the people in La this morning would not trust you that you can put up a hospital because the hospital that they had running, you demolished it, and up until now they don't have a hospital running.
It will be done. When? The La General Hospital is not an abandoned project. No. Okay. So we are putting all these packages and ancillary other such projects will be continued. Okay. And we have completed a lot of the Eurogate projects under them. Okay. So please, let's stop. Ghanaians should trust this government. Yes. When we say it, we do it. Nanado is a trustworthy
When Cookie says she does it, Cookie.
The NDC is scared about the magnitude of the project.
I hear you.
Kwachi cannot sleep. Kwachi Ofosu cannot sleep.
A beautiful woman standing behind you. Okay, let's go.
He's talked so much, he's sweating this morning.
He's sweating in the AC.
In the AC. Wolanyo Inakotia says the conduct of the Reverend Father should be reprimanded and if necessary should be charged and prosecuted. This is what some of them have been doing behind the scenes. Regards to Chairman Kistin Akomia Kisi, Eastern Regional Chairman of the NPP. Johnny, good morning to you and your panel. The government's promise on Agenda 111 has fallen flat. What happened to his initial promise on the newly created regional hospitals and 88 hospitals? We are tired of talk. Do more and stop the talking and stop making empty promises. Agenda 111 is 419. Ishmael Bash, Bimbila Northern Region sent in that one. Please, Johnny, for 4 months now, NAPCO Heal Ghana module have not been paid, and that's coming from Dennis in Techiman. Good morning, TV3. A holy case indeed. This Reverend Father is after something, and it is clear something might be going on in the dark, and it is out there on the stage of the Holy Chapel. We are in a COVID era. This is bad and must be condemned. TV3 New Day hashtag from Victor Rapture in home. Please, Johnny, the behavior of the pastor is totally unacceptable in the religious circles, especially this time of our deadly pandemic. The leadership of the church should find a way to discipline him. This is a very disturbing video from Nantonyo Glo na Abasalifu in Tamale. Ruby Fashion Dichem so near Golda Hotel says, thank you, President Nanado. You do all for bringing 111 hospitals to supporting our districts. Regards to Dr. John Kuma, Deputy Minister for Finance, and Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, Energy Minister. Good morning, Johnny. It is refreshing to hear that the Agenda 111 is coming into fruition finally. That's our President, Iduo, very historic, by Suleiman Adamba, the Big Six Secretary in Tamale. Good morning, Johnny, and to your cherished viewers. It will interest you to note that even where the sword is being cut, there won't be a complete hospital built in that area. Triddles says so. Now, in terms of sword cutting, we know how good President Nanado, we know how good President Akufo-Addo, the President Akufo-Addo-led MPP government is. We should be asking further questions on the status of the previous projects that swords were cut prior to election 2020. As we speak, nothing tangible has been done on the Eastern Regional Hospital site. The president came to cut the sword for before election 2020. Regards to Margo Elikem Kotoko and Honorable Fifi Kweti, and that came from Prince Henry in Koforidua. Right. I'm interested in that, in this one. Yeah. What happened?
Yeah, it was cut. I remember Kwekwaji Mamenu was there as well. President was there. We cut the sword for on the Eastern region. You have not done anything there. We are still in government. You have not done anything there.
We will do that. Huh? We will do that.
How do you expect people to trust you when you are not?
We are still in government. You get it?
I see.
So, I don't know. I'm telling you, you don't get projects.
So you promise more?
Only one was completed. That's not when they finished.
Okay.
The Tepa and Co. We came and we completed them.
Okay.
So you didn't the Wow, I think the Wow one was the only one they completed.
The hospitals that have been completed.
Suama, whatever, all of them.
There are hospitals that have been completed. The hospitals that have been completed that are not in use. For example, the military hospital in the Ashanti region. What's happening?
No, government is in the process of, getting all those equipped, okay, and then make them operational. So the idea, we have the plans for all of them.
So I read the letter. Yes, you had Mr. Abuja who had said that it was the presidency. He confirmed that it's the president, but there's nothing wrong if the president awards this contract because it's special and all the ministers work under the chief of staff. So there's nothing to worry about.
Johnny, two key things. What is so special about building hospitals? This is the first time. Is it novel? What is so special about it? That this time the award the contract is awarded by the office of the president. I agree with Honorable Boja. Indeed, there is something in there. And he was reading the wrong letter. I have copies. As you were reading the letter, I can show him several copies, but I will not mention the company's name. There is nowhere in the letter where you have won a contract or you won a contract. It said that approval has been granted for your company, so and so, to be awarded a contract. 2nd December,
what Johnny
5
days
read before election.
That's what I made reference.
What Johnny read? I have a copy of that. What Johnny read, I can give you a copy. It's the same letter, all written on the 2nd of December. Johnny, 5 days before election 2020, they went into
this. So George, this is what the letter says. It
never said one.
We are pleased to inform you that approval has been granted for your company. It didn't say when.
It didn't say when. So these companies went through no tendering process, there was no procurement process, and then these contracts were dashed out to full soldiers, to party apparatchiks. Yes, and they were 5 days before election. Let that be noted. So they did this clearly with an ulterior motive. At the time, they did not even make any announcement, no tendering process, nothing. Secondly, Johnny, again, let it be said, this government completed, they did not complete a single hospital project that we started or that was started under President Mahama. Not a single one. Wow. In fact, the ones we completed, simply commissioning them for use is problematic for them to the extent that the University of Ghana Medical Center, and you see, I speak about University of Ghana Medical Center with so much passion. Reason being that I used to be a student of the University of Ghana, and I saw how medical students struggle to move from Legon Adon to get to Kolebu to study. And so you have a medical facility, a training center, world class standard built on the campus for them to use. but due to petty politicking of President Akufo-Addo, they refused to open it until COVID came and their ministers were taking rest there. That was what was used to save their lives. So not a single project, like he's saying. Let him mention the Eurojet project that he claimed that they completed for the NDC.
Thank you.
Nothing. The point is that the people of Ghana knows that they cannot trust President Akufo-Addo when he says he wants to construct anything.
Thank you.
What happened to the national hospital? Who did it? It was the NDC.
You didn't finish. You had percentage last time.
Monies were released.
Gave all the percentages of work.
We have to go.
These are real.
Thank you.
Okay.
So now we have to go.
Let me correct you. One hospital was completed by one hospital.
So now,
I have the list here. I can mention all of them.
They say agronic form. Okay, gentlemen. They say agronic form. So let's cut this on. Let's monitor how it goes.
Yes, in the next.
Okay,
George, he knows how to pass sort. He doesn't know how to do the project.
Yesterday,
do you remember STX?
No. So you promised to do better. But George, yesterday somebody sent me a very touching text message. 4 years on since the banking collapse, he's still jobless, and he's asking where help will come from. 4 years on, what's on your mind? 1 minute for you, 1 minute for Adam.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but the good thing is that the banking sector reforms is having an impact. The banking sector is getting on their feet, and some are posting profits thereafter. I believe in the near future, going into the future, banks will begin to expand again and opportunities may come. Okay, having worked there, maybe you understand financial build-ups and co. So he may try and take some private business himself to see if he can make inroads instead of waiting for. Yes, it's not easy, but as a banker, he knows how to create wealth, and so he can seize that opportunity. But the alternative is, as the bankings grow and expand, doors will open for him or her to get back into the banking sector. So now the banking, because of the reforms, the banks are getting solid and then posting profits and will be expanding in no time. So I'm very upbeat about what we did, and the banks, the dividends will come in.
Adam, take your minute. This 4 years on, the gentleman sent me a touching message.
Yes.
And he asked for Small Bobo to support himself. I can't say his name, but I was really touched. 4 years on. What do you say?
Johnny, for those of us in the political space, we receive such messages on a daily basis, and it's really sad that President Akufo-Addo and his finance minister decided to adopt the lazy man's approach to solve the challenges that we were facing in the financial sector.
Pumped over
We still maintain that making people lose their jobs was not the way to go. We still could have done something about whatever challenges that the sector was facing without necessarily having to collapse this company. It's happened in many other countries. When in the US in 2008 when there was a financial crunch, this is not the approach that they adopted, and so I think that it's important for people to.
Your leader pumped 8 billion, and
he didn't lose jobs.
Thank you very much, George. AC
we didn't lose
National Communications Director of the National Disaster Management Organization. George says he's going to get an ID card very, very soon, and hopefully an official vehicle. And Kwame Alavi, good morning to you, and also to Edem Agbana. He is a deputy national youth organizer of the NDC. George, have you gone back to the Salakope, Amochinu?
Oh no! After we made the presentation and co,
you have gone there again.
No, the district directors and co are the regional director managing.
Okay.
Yes. So I know after that the former president and the
thank you.
We were there.
Thank you. Powers in Amasaman says this, if completed, will be the biggest investment in the health sector in the history of this country. The president has really shown full commitment to the health sector of our country. Johnny, I'm beginning to think that you joined the country. That's low of you to say. Tell them to stop lying. The Duma Clinic was started by government and completed and commissioned in 2019 in my constituency. Well, questions will be asked of you, and you must answer. When you promise, you must deliver. That's the basis. Thank you to Grandpa for my outfit. We'll see you after the break.